Hey there! Welcome back to Reddit Dating, best channel for cheating stories. Make sure to like and subscribe the channel for more spicy stories.
31 male. I caught my 28 female fiancé having sex in our home with a married 36M doctor at the hospital I work at. They don't know about it, and I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm a ticking time bomb that is going to wind up killing 2 people right now. I don't know what to do. I'm so confused. I don't understand how any of this happened. They don't know yet, and I'm not sure how I should go about this. We're both very loving, affectionate, the sex is always good, we both wave good jobs, money isn't an issue. We have plenty of excess. We dedicate plenty of time to one another, no big fights in a long time. Any real problems we had I thought had been solved long ago. No problems at all, until today. Today started off really good. We cuddled before we got out of bed, I made us breakfast before I started my typical 12-hour shift, I'm a nurse, at 7 this morning. We joked about some of the stuff going on between our crazy families. All was good. In fact, it was so good that I had one of these days where I was going crazy just thinking about her, and I missed her so incredibly much. It was like a sign that my boss let me off early because of how much I've been working lately, 60+ HR weeks for the past 3 weeks, plus school. I was so excited to see her as I was driving home today, she had the day off. Until I got to the house. I'm good friends with one of the doctors at the hospital, and I recognized his car immediately. I had never thought of the possibility of her cheating on me. I hadn't ever considered it possible ever. We were too close and everything seemed way too perfect. For the first time in our relationship, I was suspicious. I had believed she only knew him from visiting me at work during a break. Twice maybe she met him while we were out at the bar some nights. Well, already suspicious, I parked down the street, quietly walked into the front door, and headed upstairs. It was quiet, so that calmed me a little, because she is usually pretty loud in bed. Well, all the feeling of calm I had went out the window when I looked into the bedroom door, half open, with them doing it doggy style facing away from me. I finally heard his grunts and her quiet moans, and it felt like I was paralyzed forever. As soon as I came to my senses, I got the out of there trying not to make a sound. I immediately called one of my friends from work and headed to her place where I'm typing this out now. She doesn't use Reddit, he doesn't either, so this isn't some dumb throwaway. This all happened about 4 hours ago. I haven't received any texts or calls, so I don't think they heard me leave. If I confront them, I feel like I might just kill him and scream at her, throw her out without any of her, and leave her for dead, seeing as how her family and good friends are on the other side of the country. The doctor is married, so in taking her home is out of the question, and I'm probably going to out him anyways and try to destroy his reputation. I think I hate her now. I can't believe any of this is happening. I need advice. Should I confront them both about it and break it off? Or just break it off entirely with no contact? There is absolutely no way I'm going to take her back. The house and everything is in my name. Sorry again for the long post. I'm not in a good state of mind right now, so it's a lot of shitty rambling. Update. This is a lot longer than my other post, sorry. It's also a little later than I expected to give an update. I won't bother writing about anything from my previous post. It's all in the link. I'm going to try to post relevant information only, to keep it short. Nobody wants to hear a bunch of idiot rambling. I'm going to be honest here, I don't remember half of the day. At least, words, can't remember the time I did anything, barely remember the people I spoke to. And I'm glad I don't. This has been the worst day of my life. I'm only coming here to vent about everything. After I left the original thread, I went to the bank, withdrew everything from our joint account, and had it closed. Opened a new account at the credit union instead of the national bank we were at. I will be talking to a lawyer about this tomorrow. I took a break to cry and punch my steering wheel and dash after I finished this. It felt good. I left to head to work on my day off and file a report to HR about the piece of that Ed, my girlfriend. I asked if he was there, he was, so I avoided him. I'm saving him for later. Apparently she had come in the night before to check on me, hysterical, crying, convinced that I had died, or worse. It took everything in my power for me not to mention what happened to everyone. I wanted to out him. I feel like I should have. But I'm saving him. I'm going to get him later. The boss man that let me off early had no clue as to what was happening. If he does, he won't admit it. I tried to ask him without actually revealing what has transpired. He's either really good at acting clueless, or he probably thinks I'm an idiot right now. I left work and headed to the piece of shit doctor's house. I didn't think school was out yet. She wasn't home. Waited 10 minutes and got paranoid. Nice neighborhood with neighbors that probably talk a lot. I'm probably already on a watch list. I left. So from there I headed home. I still had a couple of hours left before my fiancé got home, so I decided to check my phone. There were over 50-ish texts and 12 missed calls from her alone since last night. Basically, she went into total lunacy sometime after I had disappeared. I asked my friend whose house I stayed at to play dumb if anybody contacted her. I felt like I could trust her, so I guess I was right. I read everything and listened to every voicemail, text, every word. I couldn't help but think, you don't give a about me, shut the up. It kept repeating itself after every word from her. I finally gave up and had some beers, went upstairs and played StarCraft for a while. Updating Reddit never crossed my mind. Sorry, it's been a hell of a day. I got tired, aka mad, of losing. I played 2 games and turned the game off. I didn't want to text anybody and tell them I'm okay, because they would probably tell her. So I just cracked. I opened up our account from a tant and sneaked a peek at her text and call history. Wow. 6,000 texts this month. 6,000. Not even 200 of those were to me. Guess how many to Dr. Bag? About 4,000. I don't even understand how this is possible. And who are the other 2 numbers I don't recognize with about a 500? What the? Yeah, I have unlimited texting, but what the? Calls weren't out of the ordinary for her. I'm just obsessing over this absolutely retarded amount of texts. I don't understand at all. My self-control ended there. I got into her email and look. We have some interesting emails from Dr. Bag. Let me just forward them to everybody relevant in this situation. Yay. I threw my phone at the wall. There's a big dent there now, and the screen on my phone is completely broken. That was kind of the idea. I kept drinking. I kept being angry. I kept playing StarCraft even though I was losing. 4:30 p.m. she wasn't home. 5 p.m. nope. I passed out at some point after that. I hadn't slept in over, I don't know, a long time. I woke up at 5 a.m. the day before, so about 1,000,000 hours. I came to some time later, and she was sitting on the end of the bed. I was still drunk, so I don't think it had been long. Here is our conversation as I remember it. Liv, this is what I call her. Why? Me, you deserve it. Liv, no, I don't. Are you insane? Me, I don't care what you think anymore. Shut the you, Liv, stop. You're being in, really, me, oh. Okay. I start to raise my voice at this point. I'm yelling, I'm the holy here. Not you. Me. I'm the holy. What does that make you? Are you serious right now? Now. I'm fairly big. I'm 6 feet 1 inch, 215. I used to be a bit bigger, but I stopped going to the gym due to working so much. She's about 5 feet 4 inches, about 110? I don't know. She's a lot smaller than me. I stopped letting her talk and just shouted over her at this point. I didn't let her say a word. I stood right up to her and got in her face and accused her of everything. I could have punched her in the face, I didn't. I forgot half of what I said, but she eventually ran out the door crying, and I threw one of the stones from our porch at her car as she left the driveway. I haven't heard from her since. This was maybe an hour ago. I don't know if I'm going to post an update to this. I'm calmer now that she's gone. I've been crying off and on hysterically as I write this, taking breaks now and again. I'm broken right now. And I don't know what I'm going to do from this point forward. 7 years of my life with her wasted. I could have spent that time with someone better. Wasted effort. A giant waste of time. I'm done. I'm completely done. Story 2. Wife deleted a message from my ex telling me that she was pregnant 5 years ago. It's been almost 2 weeks since I found out. We've did the tests, and she's mine. My ex had sent me a message a couple weeks before giving birth telling me about everything. My then GF and present wife saw that my ex sent me a message and deleted it, then blocked her, apparently without reading it. Ex took that as me not wanting to be involved and raised our daughter all alone. For 5 freaking years. My daughter is turning 5 in a month and I haven't even met her. Every time I think about how much I missed out on, I just lose it. I know I must focus on what I've gained instead of what I've lost, but damn, it's hard. It's taken me 2 hours just to write this out. Don't even want to start on what my ex had to go through alone, and the desperation to reach out to my mother for help when she hates her nearly more than me. My wife says she's remorseful. That she was just very immature at the time and didn't think it could be that important, so much so she forgot about it. I've never loved anyone more than my wife. She's supported me through so much. I believe that she actually feels bad and regrets it. She's pregnant plus 21 weeks pregnant with our first child together. We're currently separated while I deal with everything, but I don't know how we'll move forward after this. Edit, to further elaborate, I found out through my mother, who was contacted by my ex about my daughter, and how I ghosted her. I was talking to my wife about this, and she confessed about deleting it and blocking it. Update. Long story short, I met with my ex last week just to properly explain myself and discuss the whole what nows. It didn't end up being productive and mostly filled with awkward silence with a few miniature arguments. Towards the end, she said that she'd been talking to a lawyer and didn't want me to be involved, and will be seeking full custody of our daughter with no visitation, as well as suing me for back child support and getting me on child support. So that was fun. To be clear, I was always going to provide more than my fair share for any child of mine. I really don't know how any of this works, but I haven't received anything from the court or something, so it could have just been a threat, but she seemed serious. Regardless, I decided to find myself a lawyer to help me instead of waiting around, and eventually got linked with an old friend's brother whom I'm meeting tomorrow, which is great. My wife and I are trying to work things out. Due to the lawyer/court situation, financially speaking, we couldn't get an actual therapist, but my wife's pastor offered to provide marriage counseling for us. We only had 2 sessions before the family drama broke out, and we temporarily put counseling on pause. Basically, the thing about my wife deleting the message leaked out to the rest of the family, which has led my wife getting uncivil messages from a couple family members. My lovely older sister also decided to add to the fire by posting about this on her FB. My wife has locked herself at home since, and is taking everything quite badly, since even her friends now know and have distanced themselves from her. I'm actually quite worried about it, but at least her mom is there with her, and I try to check on her regularly. It's all just overwhelming. When I'm not thinking about my daughter, I'm thinking about my ex. When I'm not thinking about my ex, I'm thinking about my family drama, and when I'm not thinking about that, I'm thinking about my marriage and the pregnancy. And there's still work, so it's been a really terrible week. Finding it hard to maintain optimism and excitement for my daughter when all this has happened. Just a situation all round. This ended up being more of an event, so sorry about that. I probably won't give another update in future unless there's good news, so just thanks for the support.